Hello, welcome to the Joaquin for Gov broadcast. It's been quiet for a while, but I've started to get some questions through on my positions for things now that the candidates have been publicised, and I imagine people are getting the email address that I used for it. So I thought I'd use this broadcast and medium to get back to you, make it a little bit more personal and one-on-one instead of just sending a reply email or whatever it is that you asked for. So I'll start off with Graham Duff. He's got some questions for the New South Wales Senate candidates. One, if it was put to a conscience vote, would you vote for a bill that extended the definition of marriage to include same-sex marriage? Yes, I would. I had a quick look at the Marriage Act, and in the definitions section of marriage is the old school definitions, so I would vote for that, but it depends on the exact wording of the amendment to that act. I would go through the whole act to make sure everywhere that definition, which is marriage, the word marriage, everywhere in that act where that applied to, just to make sure that there weren't any unintended consequences. And it depends on the rewording of the definition as well. But generally speaking, I am for that. I've got no problem with that, and I would vote for that. But the devil's in the details, so I would make sure of that as well. Second one, if it were put to a conscience vote, would you vote for a bill that legalized assisted euthanasia? Absolutely. Um, Same caveat applies though. It depends on the law, the act that's being amended, and the wording of the amendment. But generally speaking, absolutely. If something like that, anything like that doesn't really affect anyone else, and it's your decision what you want to do with yourself right to the very end. So absolutely, I would definitely vote for that. What approach would you support for the treatment of asylum seekers, particularly those arriving by boat? Obviously, we need compassion in that regard, and I think it's been blown way out of proportion in the media. This whole stop the boats nonsense is exactly that. I have mentioned before that I would bring all our troops home to help stop the problem at the source. So I don't think that we should be defending anything but our borders right now. And while we've got anyone homeless in our own country, or anyone that's hungry or poor or whatever, we shouldn't be going around the world and giving, essentially taxpayer funds to humanitarian aid overseas. But that doesn't mean that we can't stop contributing to it, I guess. And yeah, we definitely need to help people. We need to make sure that we can let people in. And the ORP website, and we've got a policy on that basically to. It's pretty simple. You let in whoever can afford it, and you basically separate. This is talking about. It's talking about asylum seekers specifically. So you don't generally, definitely, let them in, assess them. You don't imprison people that are looking for help. That's just ridiculous. And there's so much talk in the media about, and people that I see and know as well, about asylum seekers committing crimes and things like that. You need to help people first and foremost. They're here, they've gotten here already, so it's not like we're going across the world and funding that kind of thing to try and help people. If people arrive here and they made the effort to go here, then obviously we help them as much as we can. What would my approach be at the treatment of asylum seekers? So yeah, take them in, assess them, try to help them out. Probably, enable schemes where they can actually, if they are processed to be asylum seekers and they integrate to the community well, and they can actually sponsor other people to come in here. I hear that single families come and they leave the rest of the family behind in wherever they're fleeing from. So I think generally the detail would be to make sure that that we look after people, but at the same time that we make sure that there's no um, how can I put it, no extra pressure on our system and our society and our level of welfare. And I don't think there is really. To be honest with you, the first thing I'd do is look at the numbers, see. If I was in government, I would definitely have more clear and unbiased access to the exact numbers of how many people are trying to come in, how many people we are letting in, how much it's costing us, the way that we're treating them, how many actually turn out to be people smugglers, or all that stuff. I'd check the facts first, but generally I would go for humanitarian and compassion for sure. Um, are you of the view that man-made carbon dioxide emissions are having a significant harmful impact on the environment? What approach, if any, do you believe Australia should take with respect to this matter? I personally don't, based on the research that I've done myself. Leave it to the free market is what I say. If you want to cut down on your own emissions or your consumption or anything like that, it's up to the individual if they want to do it. They shouldn't be coerced by government to do it. And I absolutely would not vote for anything that is a major change on our economic structure, whether that be a ETS or emissions trading scheme, carbon tax, anything like that. If it really is as popular and as urgent as the majority say it is, then just open it up to free market. People can create private companies for alternative research energy, and you can buy shares in it, or you can buy the product, whatever it is. It doesn't need to be done by government centrally. And I would definitely encourage people to follow the chain upstream on any sort of study or report that you read. That's one thing that really got to me when I started researching this is whatever report you read, they cite another report, and it all goes up the chain to UN IPCC reports, and they've been pretty clearly discredited if you look up ClimateGate or things like that. But again, it's your own decision, and what I'm about is to enable the power and the decision-making authority of the individual, and collectively, if individuals decide that they want to go that way, then they can do it themselves privately, and they don't need to coerce everyone else into it. If it were put to a conscience vote, would you support making abortion less freely available, more freely available, or maintains the status quo? You need to specify there if you're talking from a public funding point of view, or from a legality point of view, or mosquito, or anything like that. I'm not against abortion morally, so if you want to do it, you have access to do it. By all means, go ahead and do it. The amount of public funding that is supporting that, though, is what I would take issue with, and is what I would look at. And from what I understand, I haven't looked into any specific legislation. It's not really a legal problem anyway. So that kind of thing, definitely, I would not try to increase the funding for. If people want to do it, they can do it themselves privately, and that's that. So those are all the questions for Graham Duff. Seen a lot of other candidates replying all to everyone. I don't know if you guys understand the implications of doing that, but I would suggest that you do not. It's too late for most of you anyway. Okay, next one. P Flag Pledge from Donna Goodard. Let's see what she's asking me here. Okay, so this looks like it's gay and lesbian rights. Let's have a look here. I'm just recapping. I've read all these before. I've got them ready for a reason. So she wants me, Donna, I assume it's a she, but considering the context of the situation, Donna, whoever Donna is, whoever Donna identifies as, she wants me to pledge to, or he, whatever, uphold the United Nations Human Rights Council resolution, human rights, sexual orientation, and gender identity that condemns discrimination against individuals because of their sexual orientation and gender identity. Okay, uphold. I don't know how much I can do about that in the Senate. I believe that ultimately the sovereignty of the people of Australia are the people of Australia, and the United Nations resolution is above that, and it's foreign to us. So anything to do with the United Nations, I would try to get away from as much as I could. So theoretically, the only situation that would come up is either if there's some sort of vote to either extend our participation in the UN or to leave it, and I would be certainly more for leaving it than to extend our participation in it. So, you know, I'm with you. I know what you're saying, and I agree with you. It's just that we need to do that here, locally, or federally in our nation, not as a foreign party. So I can't agree to that. Two, support and if elected, I'll vote for an amendment to the Marriage Act that allows two people to marry whatever their sexual orientation or gender identity. So that goes back to Graham's question. It's the same video, so I already answered that for you, Donna. Yeah, sure, go for it, but as long as the wording's correct and that it doesn't have any unintended consequences on the rest of the Act. Be an ally for LGBTIQ young people in both my professional and private life, upholding their rights to feel safe and included at school and in the community. Definitely can't pledge for that one, because you can't uphold people's rights to feel anything anyway, because it's up to the individual for that, and it doesn't matter what I do or the community or the school do. If that particular person doesn't feel anything, then they're not going to feel anything regardless of what they do. So people don't have the right to feel anything by anyone else. I would definitely support them to be able to live their life free just like anyone else and be treated like anyone else, but again, the wording there is no good, I'm afraid, Donna, so I can't sign any of that, really. But morally and ethically, I'm with you. You just have to make sure that you don't, you start trying to be equal, but upholding their right to feel safe and included in the community. Everyone has a right to for everyone. So, and again, like I say, you can't feel anything in a right. That doesn't work. And if you try to make it work, you're going to coerce a lot of other people into feeling other ways as well. So that one's done for you, Donna P. Flag. What do we got here? Now this one I only saw the headline for, so this could be interesting. Family Voice Australia has a, what do they have for me? Some sort of survey. What do you want to know? Blah de blah de blah de blah de blah. Oh geez, I have to go online and fill out a thing. You don't just have questions for me right here? I might come back to that one at a later date. Have a look at it and see if it's worth actually responding to. Exercise and Sports Science Australia. What do you want? Did you know? Attached is a position where parties must commit to. Splitting these requirements. Okay, let's see. So they probably want a crap load of fighting, do they? Oh, geez. These are a lot. Alright, I'll get back to you. This actually seems like it's structured and thought out and broken down into categories, so it's worthy of more of a reply. Exercise and Sports Science Australia, I'll get back to you on that one. And Christian Lobby 6, my position on marriage. Well, I think we've already answered that one before, but let's hear him out. If elected to the Australian Parliament, in the event that another vote is held on redefining marriage, you will support the natural, timeless and sustainable definition currently enshrined in the Marriage Act, and you will oppose efforts to redefine marriage. Absolutely not. That's ridiculous. I will be totally against you, Australian Christian Lobby. I will be going exactly the opposite for the reasons I've said before. And I think that's pretty much it. So, I was commentating on the People's Leaders Forum debate, and I'll be doing so again when it's in Rudy Hill through Twitter. Twitter.com/JOAQUAM4gov. You can find me from the same username. Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. And any other chances I get to do any other commentary on anything that's going around, and excludes the majority of the minority parties, because that is how it will be. So look out for me, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.